going to turn this into an interview with Rosie because I'm used to doing the interviews.
No, it's really good for you, like... The phrase to me was someone who's crazy, someone who's maybe a bit violent, someone who's very erratic and just maybe not even a nice person. And I think that was from growing up. The adjective of bipolar was if your teacher's really angry one day and horrible, that, all the things I used the phrase bipolar for were just negative.
Yeah.
So now that I understand it, it doesn't upset me that I've got that label, but it really took a lot of research and understanding and educating myself to be more confident with it and just take it seriously, but managing it is just something I've got to do.
And did the GP really describe it kind of like that?
He said, because I went in, I'm so depressed, this is what happened when I'm depressed and I'm anxious all the time. And he said, do you ever have days where you don't feel any of this? And I say, yeah, every few weeks, it'll be really nice because I'll wake up and I'll know that it's not there. And he will say, do you say sweeping statements? Like, I'm going to be the best model in the world. And I think me and my mum both thought, oh God, Rosie does that all the time. And I just went, no. I honestly just shut him out. I didn't want to hear it because for me, bipolar was something, maybe schizophrenia, something old people get and that no one I'd ever meet. Not a normal person, just not normal.
Yeah.
So it was really, really difficult to hear it. And then I had the opposite thing that when I was actually diagnosed and I was in hospital, it was a weight lifted I was glad that someone was taking seriously how ill I had felt. I was really glad that it wasn't just depression because it felt so much worse than depression.
Getting the diagnosis probably saved my life, I think. And because for the first time ever, I wasn't alone in the dark. And the light had come up, and there's always a difference then because at least you can see what you're fighting.
Yeah.
I think if I ignore it like I have done for the last 10 years, it's just going to do me a disservice. I've learned to embrace the fact that I have suicidal thoughts regularly. Instead of panicking and giving them too much attention, they come in and they go out. I get to the stage where with sleeping, and thank God for quetiapine because it does just knock me out, I'd get so scared to go to sleep because I get scared of waking up because sleep is so peaceful.
Yeah.
And then that jolt of waking up.
Yeah.
And there isn't a morning really that goes by where I wake up and go, all right, we're doing this again then, let's go. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It really is. So I told my immediate family and my closest friends, and we spent a year educating ourselves. And Bipolar magazine is a mental health magazine and well-being. Honestly, I don't know how many there are, but it's brilliant. And a friend of mine knows someone there, and we'd spent a year educating ourselves, and I wasn't ready to talk to anyone about it, but also it got to this point where I had to start telling people I don't want to hide this, but I also don't want to send an email which subject heading, hi, I'm bipolar. What a shock. So instead I wrote a letter to my 18-year-old self. So I was 18, so 10 years ago. But I wrote a letter to my younger self because they asked me to and they published it. And that was kind of my way of going, I want to tell you, but I don't want to talk about it. So here it is. Here's why this makes sense now when I was 18. And here's everything to where I've got to now.
Yeah. And
that had an incredible response. I never expected it.
That 2.5 years felt like such a long time scale to get better. And now that that's come and gone, and their goal was for me to be on one medication and manage my highs and, take something to stop me going low, I finally feel like I'm really happy to have some management and not be completely sedated.
Yeah.
Because you're used to those highs, you're used to those lows, and they make you feel yourself. And actually, when you start aiming to be yourself and not normal, it's really refreshing. Because that is the best thing to be, is yourself. You don't want to be like someone else because you don't know what they've been through. And my mum always said, if you're jealous of someone else, you have to take the whole package. And like, I love my family, I love my friends, I love what I do. And I think working back to what makes me happy was really good, instead of labeling myself as bipolar and trying to be someone without bipolar. Because you can't do it.
Yeah.
You've been exposed to those highs and lows your whole life. So to try and have a life without it is literally like a new identity.
And it is, you're right, it's to embrace it. It's not all of me, but it's part of me.